Hey loves, the Brandy Johnson here with your weekly installment of Woke Wednesday Live. I hope everyone is having an excellent day, and if not, be grateful anyhow because you got to see the day. So today, my topic is the little guy. I've recently been taking time to not only meditate but to also reflect on different events that have occurred in my life that have helped to build the person that you see in front of you now and is molding the person that is still yet to come forth. So, something that's always been a part of me is seeing the people that normally go unseen. People like the weird kid in school. So, when I was younger, and this is something that I realized like real recently, I've always been the one that sought out the weird kids, so to speak, the misunderstood kids, the underestimated kids, the ones that nobody wanted to play with because they were a little bit different. Hey Malak, thank you for joining me, bro. How are you today? But I realized in reflecting, even as early as first grade, I always gravitated to that one kid that seemed to be misunderstood and didn't really have too many friends. It was crazy because that's just naturally how it was. I don't know if it was because when I was little, when I was kindergarten, first grade, it had been about first grade. Let's start there. I used to ride the bus. I used to live in Germany as a child, and I used to ride the bus. And the school that I went to was a K through 12 school. So a majority of the kids on the bus were older than me. Well, because I was small and I didn't care about my attire at all. I would leave the house in mismatched sweatpants and my parents would let me. I don't know what was up with that, but that was just my taste. So I would get picked on like relentlessly on the bus ride. And I think that stuck with me because when we came back to the States in 92 from Germany, I was always aligned with the kids that were a little bit out of the ordinary. I remember I had a little friend named Michelle in third grade, and she had asthma so bad that she couldn't run around and play like the rest of us. So I would slow down and literally go out of my way to make sure we played calm games like tetherball and stuff like that, Foursquare, things that didn't require us to run around but were still fun. Now to me, I was just enjoying myself and basically acknowledging a kid that most people didn't. Hey Angie, love you sis, how are you today? But it didn't stop there because in fourth grade I had a friend, I believe her name was Kwai. It was a little bit out of the ordinary. But Kwai was a little bit different because she had an underdeveloped hand. And instead of, just treating her like the rest of the kids, like she wanted to be treated, others would pick on her. So I made it my point to make sure I played with her and let her know that she was just special like the rest of us, right? Hello, Wesley. Thank you for joining me on today. And it just continued from there. And then I realized, like, between the 5th and 6th grade, and I don't know if anybody else has done this or not, but as a kid, I was a tomboy. And I was out playing with the boys. We were playing baseball. And one of the little boys got a little bit out of pocket, so to speak. And he said something and I retorted. And rather than stand there and await a fight, I chose to get on my bike and started riding down the hill. Well, I hear the other little boys hollering behind me, "Stop, stop, no, don't do that." And I look behind me and the little boy that was trying to start mess was chasing after me with a baseball bat. So, me being me, I don't like to fight, but I will. And I quickly and efficiently whooped that little boy's tail. So bad that in order to get out of the hold that I had on him, the little boy bit me. And once he realized he couldn't lick me, then he went on his little way. And then the next day, I was at the park playing, minding my own business, and the little boy approaches me with a Rottweiler on his side. One, I ain't never been bit by a dog in my life. But two, that dog wasn't interested in me the way that he thought he was going to be interested in me. And three, I felt bad for beating the little boy's tail and actually apologized and told him I was sorry. And we were basically friendly after that. Now, what kid do you know would apologize after being provoked in a fight? And I realize that's just how I've always been. I don't like to hurt people's feelings. I don't like to make people feel less than. And so the little guy is really important to me, especially my young queens out here that are growing up in crazy situations that they just don't know what they don't know because they've never been exposed to a different environment to let them know that, like, yes, you come from a challenged background, but no, that does not mean you do not have an amazing level of potential within you just waiting to be tapped. And so something that I've realized upon my reflections, like I said earlier, is that there are a lot of women out here that are overlooked, undervalued, underestimated, and written off because of their backgrounds or because of the way that they carry themselves, because they just don't know any better yet. And so this message is specifically for these lovely queens out here. And when I say queens, I don't just mean black women. I mean all women, no matter your background, no matter your ethnicity, no matter who you think you are versus who somebody like me knows you can be. Hello, Elisa. Thank you for jumping on. I appreciate you. I want you to know that I see you. And the messages that I'll be bringing forth in the upcoming months, years, whatever it might be, they're going to be targeted to you because we have a lot of coaches out here. We have a lot of mentors out here that are just seeking those that can afford their prices. And I would like to go out of my way to help build some of you young ladies up in order to put you in a position that when you choose to move on to a higher level coach, you can, and you'll have the foundation necessary to do so. So if you're somebody that knows you need guidance but don't know where to start, I want you to start here. I want you to tune in to these videos. I do them every Wednesday. To those of you on this live right now that know somebody that can use some good inspiration, some empowerment, some encouragement that can lead to different levels of growth and lead them to a level of self-confidence that they begin to read all these wonderful personal development books, begin to connect with other sisters like myself that's looking to build my fellow queens up in a way that most wouldn't take the time to do so. Please be sure to share this with them or plug them in any way that you can. This is why I am now doing these videos. At first, it was for to share what I was learning. And I've learned a lot, but now I'm to a point that I realize that there's an underserved part of our community that I want to tap into, that I want to reach out to, that I want to plug in with, that I want to grab your hand and tell you you're worth more. Stop doing the dumb stuff just because you were taught the dumb stuff. There is better information out there. There is a plethora of knowledge that you know nothing about yet. And I know that the dynamic of certain family situations, certain people that come from, let's call it bad neighborhoods, trailer parks, ghettos, whatever it is, they're not to be written off. Some of the greatest people come out of the slums, and because I know that, I don't mind that there's not a whole lot of money in this side of things. Who am I to determine that? That's not what I'm after. What I'm after is changing the mindset and confidence of ladies that have been overlooked, underestimated, undervalued, and have problem with their own self-esteem and self-confidence. That's what I'm here for. That's what these videos are going to be about. I will, of course, still be doing shared videos with some of my awesome members of my networks, like my sis Angie, and I'll be jumping on with Lisa someday too. She just don't know it yet. But I have several amazing queens in my life that are pouring into me, and I can easily pour into somebody that's in the same position or just below me. But I want the people that have been overlooked. I see you guys. And Malak can attest to this, because Malak is somebody that was overlooked for a very long time. And now he's refound his confidence, and he is doing amazing things. I can't wait to see what comes of his future. Hey, Vanessa, how are you, my love? But Malak isn't the only one. I just don't put a whole lot of emphasis on the people that I have helped. And though my focus is female empowerment, I want to empower my queens, my sisters, because we are the ones that can shift the dynamic with everything that goes on with how some of these men are allowed to treat us. And if you go back a few days ago, I actually posted, and I didn't realize how much my words, just looking back on them, would even affect only me. But I absolutely meant them when I say it is your responsibility to determine how you're going to allow people to treat you. There are some people out here, they're not going to treat us the way that we deserve to be treated. Sometimes we're just going to have to demand it. And it's okay to demand it, because demand doesn't mean you got to be nasty about it. But you can easily check somebody that's either talking to you in a way that's unacceptable to you, treating you in a way that's unacceptable to you, or assuming something about you that is absolutely untrue and only reflects on who that person really is. We have a lot of people out here, and I have to say, some of my queens are right nasty. But the ones that are the nastiest are often the most misunderstood. So I hope this message has touched somebody. I hope you guys will share this so I can get more of the women that I'm after, that I want to love on. I want to pour into them. I want to pour into you, because even some of you ladies have come from some rough backgrounds, and you've had to work through all the mental anguish, the trauma, whatever it is, in order to get to this point and even be able to connect with me. And I appreciate every single one of you, even my gentlemen on this live, because without you guys supporting us, things like this wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't have been able to see myself sitting here calmly talking to you guys about who I want to help not 2 years ago. And that's the crazy truth of it all. I managed to find a book and a network that has exposed me to people that have loved on me until I saw what they saw. And I see it now. And I want to do the same for others. Just those that most wouldn't consider, like, what I like to call that. And don't get mad at me. This is just how I used to refer to some of my sisters as hair-hatted hooligans. And it's not because I don't have love for them, but it's because we all have seen our sisters out here that they just have a nasty attitude. I don't know where the attitude comes from. But if you're like me, you do one of two things. You avoid these ladies, or you stand back and wonder, what happened? Well, I want to know what happened, and I want to help them work through that. So if you're one of these ladies, or you know some of these ladies, you know some of your friends that are so ratchet, you just can't hang out with them, you can't get them to understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, send them my way. I want to let them know that they are loved. I see you. You can do better, and I believe you can. All right? So, I love you guys, and I will be tuning in again next Wednesday for Woke Wednesday Live. I don't know what my topic will be, but I'm going to keep it coming. That's just, consistency is important. And, yeah, I freaking love you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.